Flux AI can create incredible AI-generated images on par with Midjourney with perfect text in any style. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can create a 100% automated AI social media system that will create incredibly realistic AI images and viral social media posts for any platform that you want. And on top of that, I'm also going to show you and give you this AI co-pilot where you can be on the internet. You can highlight any text that you want, blog, article, any sentence you think is interesting. You can right click, hit this send selected text button, and that will fire through to our automation and create you a unique social media post based on any text that you like in your tone of voice with these incredible AI generated images. I'd like to start off by showing you exactly how it works and the tools you need. So for instance, you're gonna have this scenario running in the background. I'll show you how you set it up step by step. Now for the trigger of this could be anything. It could be a voice note on your phone. I've got videos on my channel for that, but I wanted to take it a step further. And so what I've built here is an AI co-pilot, a Chrome extension. The link will be down below in the description. I'll show you how you set that up. It basically means when you're on the internet, I can find any text I think is interesting. So say for example, this paragraph here talks about a husband and a wife who are lucky to build a property, they're pregnant and they're trying to buy somewhere. So if I find that text and I say, hey, I want to do a post on that, I right click it and I hit this send selected text button here. Once that goes on, it then fires through to the scenario automatically with a webhook. We then have this system here called the Flux Prompter, and what that will do is based on what the best practices are for creating prompts on Flux for a hyper-realistic image, which is a style of image that I want to make for my post, but in reality, you could build this in any style that you want to. It will create a unique prompt for Flux for us to use. And whilst that scenario is running, guys, I want to show an example of what I did using the same prompt earlier. This is a photorealistic image of a couple who's pregnant who've recently bought a house. The quality you get with Flux is off the charts. And if you compare it to ChatGPT, we get stuff like this. It doesn't look good. DALL-E 3 doesn't look great. And the reason why this is so sick is because Midjourney doesn't have an official API, but now we can get Midjourney level images with perfect text in our automations, and it all happens completely in the background without you having to think about a single thing. And so now we've got the prompt. We use this request here, guys, to a service that's called replicate.com. And as you can see, here's an example of the kind of thing that it does. And I'll explain what replicate is in a second, but again, you can just copy these modules and just do exactly what I'm doing. Now, once it's made that request, we have a sleep module that basically just gives it some time to create the images. There's some of the funky stuff we could do, but you don't need to worry about that just now. Then what we do is we say, hey, just basically send it over and grab the file that we need. This downloads the file for us. And then what this is doing here is creating a unique prompt for us using one of the LinkedIn agents that we've got, and then it posts automatically on LinkedIn. And even checking LinkedIn, I can see I've got a full post and a unique image that we can use and rock and roll exactly. And my name's Jack, my school community and my YouTube channel about three things. We're about the latest AI. We're about incredible automations, but most importantly, we're about the stuff that actually works. And I'm so stoked to share this kind of content with you because I think when we get these innovations in creating images, it really does just level the game massively. And the billing's relatively cheap. It's like a couple of cents per creation per images. Now, in terms of the stuff that you actually need to get started with this image, with this actual generator. So let's start with what you need. First of all, you need access to make.com. I'll put all these links down below in the description for you. So Make is a no-code automation software builder. Really cool, really straightforward. The next thing you want access to is something called Replicate. Now, you may be wondering, Jack, what on earth is Replicate? So look, you've probably heard of different things like Hugging Face and loads of different cool, like unique AI models. But the problem is like, how do you as an individual access these cool models like Flux? Like, do you just need to be on Grok? Do you need to be on different websites? It's really difficult to know how you access it. So what Replicate does, it allows like businesses or like, AI models to upload it to their platform, their database. And then it basically enables you to create what we call an API connection. So in other words, you can, on make.com, if I come over, using this module, enter some numbers, and it will connect to this website. And what this website does is sits between you at the top and all these other really cool models like Flux or like other bits of Flux. So for example, what you'll first of all need to do is sign up to a Replicate account. Again, I'll run through that very briefly. And then finally, what you need, guys, is access to a language model like Claude or ChatGPT. And then obviously, all the social media platforms that you'd like. So let's build this one together step by step. So to do that, guys, I'm gonna open a new scenario on Make. Now, of course, if you're part of the school community, all you ever need to do is come down here to the three arrows, click on Import Blueprint, click on Choose the JSON file. You select the JSON file, hit Save, and then the entire file populates automatically. If you're in a school group, just FYI, where that is in the classroom section, every AI automation. Select the thing that you want, you click on it, and then when you come down, you can actually download it there and upload it to Make. We're going to build this one from scratch together. So the first thing I want you to do, guys, and again, I'm going to put a link down below in the description for the Chrome AI Copilot, so you can use that and just get started anyway. So what do? We click on this plus button here, and we're going to call this one here. We'll call this one Flux Realistic, and then I'll put build together. And then do you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to have a little diamond star emoji, because that's how I'm feeling right now, because I think this is a really sick automation. Cool. And I also have to shout out a guy called Max Gibson from our community. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel down below. He shared some really epic stuff on Flux, and he's a really awesome, knowledgeable guy in the space. So massive shout outs to Max for creating some Flux stuff. So what do, guys? We click on the plus. I want you to click on webhook, and I want you to click on custom webhook here. Now we should get a code. Again, we'll call this one Flux Realistic BT, like so. Beautiful. Click save. And there we go. Okay, now we've got this webhook code. So the first thing I want you to do is go down in the description. This is if you want to use this trigger. If you want to use a different trigger, you're more experienced, feel free to do that. But download the zip file in the description. Now, when you open up, you'll see 4 files. I want you to open background.js and content.js by right-clicking, open with text edit. Now, if you're using Word, there's other equivalents that you can use. Basically, you want a plain text editor. Watch this video on the screen if you've never seen it before, but it's relatively straightforward. So open it with text edit, like so. All right. Now, what I want you to do is Control F and type in EU2, like so, and hit enter. Now, what I'd want you to do is basically copy this, like so, and then basically replace that with your webhook. So instead of it ending 7H9C, it ends 2B68. I'm gonna undo that because I need that one. And we come off, and just make sure at the top when you click format, it says plain text, which it should do if you've downloaded it. And again, do the same thing with content.js, open with text edit. So it's a background.js and your content.js. And again, Control F EU2, hit enter. And once again, oh my goodness, it does not want us to change that at the moment. We just highlight it and replace it. So essentially what that means, guys, is the code will work exactly the same, but in this case, it will call your webhook instead of the sample one that I provided in the code. So then, guys, I want you to head over to Google Chrome, make sure that you've got this developer mode attached at the top right here, and then click on load unpacked, like so. And then just select the file that you want to upload, which basically you need to make sure it isn't a zip. You just select the file and you'll see here, text highlighter 1.0, click on details, scroll down, and you can pin it to the toolbar. I tend to do that for all Chrome extensions that I install, at least initially, so I know what I'm using, right? How cool is that, guys? So I've loaded up OpenAI on a subreddit, so I'm just basically gonna select like something in this article. Say, for example, as simple as this, like quantum entanglement in your brain is what generates consciousness, radical studies suggest. Okay, cool. So you basically highlight the text, and then what I want you to do, guys, is come back over now to make.com, and can you see here, it's trying to determine a data structure. So basically highlight it, right click, send selected text. And actually, guys, I just realized for this to work, I do need to change the code. So basically, I've just updated that one and delete, and let's do the same one here again, EU2, come back over, and then let's bring this one over here like so, highlight all of it, Control V, phenomenal, click File, click Save, and then we need to head back over to Chrome real quick, head over to extensions, and if you ever hit this refresh button, if you've changed anything in your AI Copilot, your Chrome extension, that will then update the whole entire Chrome extension, which is really cool. So quantum entanglement, I right click, and I just click on send selected text, which should be appeared there for you. Then let's head back over, and look at this, guys, successfully determined. What that basically means is, it's like kind of waiting to catch the ball, and we've thrown the ball, it's like, dude, I've got it, I got your back, bro, I've got you covered. So what do we then do? We're just gonna click on it again and run this module only. We're gonna head back over to Chrome and just do the same thing again. So right click, send selected text, come back over, and guys, check this out. We've got the text, everything we said, and also the URL that we sent it from. How cool is that? I think that's really, really epic. So we've now found a way of you being on any web page you want to on the internet and being able to send any text, any URL to any scenario. Now, the next thing that I'd like you to do is create an account with Replicate. Really awesome platform, super, super cool. And I like this kind of phantasmagoric background that's running in the back. I think it's really, really sick. So what do? We're gonna click on Get Started in the top right-hand corner, like so, and it's gonna load up for us. Actually, we're gonna come back, guys. We're gonna go and sign in. For some reason, get started is not the same. Now, you need to create a GitHub account, so just head over to GitHub and just create a random account, push a few buttons, and when you've done that, you'll then be able to sign into your account with GitHub. And then, guys, what I'd like you to do once you're signed into Replicate is come over up here at the top left, click on Account Settings like so, okay? Now you've got your API tokens. This is where we're going to create tokens so we can connect our make scenario to this incredible website. There's actually 3 models of Flux, like the core stuff of some other extras, but we've got the key ones here, guys, are Schnell, we've got Dev, and the best one ever is Pro. And obviously we're using Pro because Pro is the best and we only want the best on this channel. Okay, cool. So what do? We come back over now. We've got our API key and we've deposited some dollars for billing. So just throw like 5, 10, 20 bucks in there, whatever you feel happy with. Now, once we've done that, guys, I want you to come back over to our make scenario. Now, the next thing that we're going to add in here is, and I'm going to show you in a second how we're going to differentiate a few things, is this Flux Prompter module, okay? So basically, I'm just going to copy this text and I'll show you how you build this over here. So I'm going to add Claude because I really like Claude for its language. Just type in Cloud like so, create a prompt. It should auto 3.5 Sonnet, which is incredible, at 4,000 in terms of max tokens. That's excellent. Come down to add message, role is user, and then we click on add content. Content is text. Text is, and I'll run through the prompt with you right now. Listen to this. You are a prompt writer. Now, what we're going to do, and people have experimented with this, and they found that Flux is not as forgiving as Midjourney when it comes to your prompting. So, for example, Midjourney, you can be way more descriptive. With Flux, there's like a certain way that you can do it. So what I'd recommend you do is when you've got a particular style that you want for your own, you know, either it's per platform or like a particular style you want, just play around with it in the actual dashboard in Replicate. There's a few places and ways that you can do that. Like here, you can play around with it, like give it like different prompts and run, and you can actually see what that looks like. And I'll put a link down below so you can play and explore your own style. So the prompt we've got is this. You are a prompt writer. You'll be given an article or piece of text based on this text. And by the way, guys, I've done this one because I wanted to trigger this with just some random text on the internet. Because I had some of my community say, hey, Jack, could you do blog articles, social media posts? And I was like, yes, we can. And that's why I wanted to bring this video to a whole new level by giving you something fun that you could just use as well. So you're gonna be given a piece of text. Based on this text, you'll produce a descriptive prompt for image generation. Do not include anything other than text, and do not add a new line at the end of the text. You must use the below prompt guidelines to create the prompt. Exclude these characters. Our output must be in JSON and look like this. Now, this is what the API requires. I've hard-coded this in because when you give it an output sometimes, without getting too technical, adds an additional line space, which causes a world of trouble. So there's a few ways you can do this. This is just a really easy, simple way to get up and get started. And then we've got the actual prompt itself. So describing the person, the hairstyle, the features, the expression. I want to go for something that's photorealistic, but obviously, as you can see from all the images they've got, you could go in any direction that you want. So you could do anime, fresh fruit, whatever, basically whatever you want. So if you want to do photorealistic like this, or even Thanos, so it's like, you can go absolutely wild with it. It's ridiculous. Like, it is honestly, if there were charts, Flux would be off the charts. So I've given it like a prompt that I think works well for professional stuff, and I reverse engineered that from their best use case examples. So we talk about hairstyle, features, expression. We talk about what the subject's wearing, colors, types of clothing they might have. We describe the activity that they're doing, and then we do the background. So it's like a certain structured strategy that we've got, and then we give it examples of what that looks like. And then at the bottom, we say text. Now, you can copy this if you want to, but I'd encourage you to go have fun with it, play with it, find your own unique style, and tell me down below how you get on with it. So what we then do, guys, is click on the text like so, okay? Then we click OK. Now, guys, the next thing that we're gonna wanna do is this HTTP make a request. So I'm gonna copy this, I'm gonna bring it over, and if you just upload the scenario, all the stuff will be hard-coded in here so you can just plug and play. But let me show you what this looks like in reality, okay? So look, you click on it. What we're gonna do at the top is this URL here, API-replicate.com v1 predictions. Method is post, in other words, we're posting it out there. Name is authorization, and then you're gonna have your bearer, and then a certain key here. Now, what is the bearer? This key here, guys, is your API key. So if you come back over to Replicate and come to API tokens, you'll see when you create a token, you'll get this, right? And you basically hit this copy button, you come back over here, and you paste it in. Now, that's basically how you get it. So bearer just means this is your unique key that connects Replicate to your account. Okay, come down, body type is gonna be raw, content type is JSON, application/JSON, and then the request content is this text response, okay? So I'm gonna come over, request content, text response. And at the bottom, of course, we just want to make sure we click on parse response and we click OK. So now what I recommend you do, guys, is save it, because obviously those who save regularly do not lose regularly. And then we're just going to hit run once on this entire scenario. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over to our beautiful thing. But guys, so I'm going to go check out. I'm going to check out Marvel Thanos. So I pulled up this random one here, which is a fight between Thanos and Apocalypse. So let's just copy these up, right click, and send selected text. We come back over. The webhook's grabbed it. Claude is now creating a cool prompt for us, and then it's going to send it over to our new HTTP make a request. Now, all this means, guys, is that it's actually made the request to replicate. So you can check all of your, basically all your stuff by coming over here on dashboard. Open up a new tab for you, and check this out, guys. Can you see it says running, and anytime you run something, you'll be able to see it in your dashboard, which is really cool. Now, the way this runs, it's done on kind of a queue system, so it's not like everyone you're gonna happen instantaneously, and it's a bit of a hack that we can get the pro at all. So this is gonna run. It can take anywhere, as you can see from my previous time, between like 14 seconds to minutes. So let's check out what this looks like. Okay, so we're looking for something Thanos related, and guys, check that out. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that is insane. Like, I'm just like gobsmacked. Like, in Midjourney, you can't do that. And then, guys, what we need to do is give some time. Now, there's two ways we can do this. We can add a sleeper module that says, look, because we've said, hey, replicate, go, send the API, go make the image for us, but the image may take anywhere between a couple of seconds to a couple of minutes. So what we don't want is a scenario to fail. Now, there's two ways to do this, or a couple of ways to do this. I'm just gonna add a really easy, simple solution, which is a sleeper module, which basically says, look, hold off and just wait a couple of minutes. And I'm gonna do that just for ease, just because we're going through some complicated concepts, but you can use repeater modules and things like that to keep testing to see when the API status changes. But I'm gonna keep it really super simple and put a sleep module in there and make it as long as possible. And then, guys, what we now wanna do is basically call and grab that information back. So the way that we would do that is we've got this module here, this HTTP make a request module. I'm gonna copy that and show you what you need to include for that. So we're gonna paste that in. I'm gonna come down. Now let me show you what this looks like. By the way, to add this, obviously it's just plus HTTP. And then the one you wanna look for is make a request, all right? Now what do we have in here? Look, first of all, we need to choose the URL. Now the URL is gonna be provided by the last thing that we had there, right? So what we need to do is come down to input. Let's have a quick look to find where this is. Data, URLs at the bottom, and you see this get URL, just basically select that. And guys, this information is exactly the same as before. It's authorization, it's the same token as before, the content type, application JSON, raw, JSON application JSON, parse response, yes. Then we click OK. Incredible. Now guys, what I'd like you to do here is just run the scenario one more time. We're gonna come back over to Chrome and we'll do the same thing again. And we will right click and then we'll say send selected text, and then come back over, and once again, the whole scenario is beginning to run from beginning to end. And this time what will happen is we'll have a URL in our scenario that we can view and edit. Now, some social media platforms only require a URL in Make. We just give it the URL and it auto posts. Other ones require you to download the file in Make, which we can do again with one really simple, easy to use module. And that's completely, guys, we can see from the HTTP make a request module, it's grabbed it. So we come down to data, we scroll down, and you're looking for output, hit that, and we've got a URL. And would you believe it? We've got Thanos and this other villain that's happened automatically in incredible quality. I should also say, by the way, guys, one of the things that you can do with this is there's lots of stuff that you can specify. So for instance, one of the things I specified here, we've got aspect ratio, output quality, we've got the prompt that you can use, and depending on the model of Flux that you're using, you can actually basically change quite a lot. So you've got the aspect ratio, you can have different numbers of outputs if you want to, lots of cool stuff. Now, at this point, I want to show you something that'd be really helpful for your specific use case. So what does that look like? Well, look, check this out. If you go to the search bar and type in Flux, okay, what you'll see is multiple models of Flux. We've got the shell, the dev, the pro. Obviously, the pro is the best, it's incredible, but we've also got these other additional versions of it. So we've got Flux Dev Realism. Now, the Flux Dev Realism is like a version that focuses more on making it photorealistic. That's why I've selected the realism version for this. If you just want the Flux Pro. No, all the bells and the whistles. I'm also going to put this in the School community as well, so you can use this, and it's got all the different models. But basically, we just changed the model that we're using at the top in the URL, but I'll put the link for that as well, so you can pip and pop with that in the group. But it depends on what you want, and this is why Replicate as a platform is so sick, because you can just configure and let people build on stuff and build little variations and do all this cool stuff to make the automations incredible. Cool. Now that's done, what on earth do we need to do next? Well, as you can see from our last module, all we do now is we need to create the prompt and then just post it to LinkedIn as an example, as a quick for instance. So to do that, what do? You know what it is, guys. We're gonna add Claude one more time, create a prompt, come over here, max tokens, let's put it at 4,000 like so. We've got messages, come down, role is gonna be user, content is going to be text, and we scroll down. Now, what is the text? Well, for this one, guys, I'm just gonna shift over to my school community, and I'm just gonna grab our LinkedIn agents, come over to Classroom real quick. Every AI automation, let's scroll down. Let's go over to LinkedIn. Incredible, let's open this guy up. So this is all trained on like the latest like viral LinkedIn posts and what's working and stuff, so we can just use this as a basis to create something incredible. And I don't know if you live in London or not, but we're doing an AI automations meetup in London this week. Like, one of the cool things in the group is like every month we're hitting the different countries. So we did Las Vegas a couple of months ago. This one's gonna be London, then we're doing LA. We've got Germany, we've got Rome. Dude, we're hitting the places. So if you live in those places, you want to come hang out, grab one of these coffees in person, have a good time. Come say hey in the school community. It'd be awesome to meet you up, or just let me know on the community tab in YouTube. It'd be so sick to meet you guys. So we've got this thing here. We can basically just like change some of this stuff. So I'm gonna get rid of the industry. Of course, again, like basically take this and then like make it appropriate for your particular use cases. I provided lots of examples in this LinkedIn prompt, but what you could also do if you want to, guys, is take the posts that you like, that are working for you, that like, if you've got 5 LinkedIn posts that are just crushing it, use that as examples when you come in there. I'm gonna come down and I'm just gonna say, hey, the text, like so. Okay, and basically all we're gonna do, guys, is give it the text from the webhook here, like so, okay? Hit enter. Click OK, incredible. Then I'm gonna add a final module here, and this one's gonna be LinkedIn. Now, obviously, if you're doing different social media platforms, you would just double up these agents. You could add like a router here and just have a LinkedIn channel, Facebook, X, you know, basically build it to your specifications as much as you like to. Now we've got LinkedIn. Just for the purposes of this automation, I'm gonna put on create a user image post like so. Bring this one over. We've got map, let's map this guy. Oh my goodness, what is going on? So basically, if it's already pulled the file, sometimes it will just do that. Okay. So what we need to do with LinkedIn, specifically, is download the file. So I want you to come into the plus button. So I want you to unlink these. Okay, add a plus here. Go HTTP, get a file, URL, like so. And then basically, guys, just get the URL from that module. Now, can you see how it like pulses? That means that it's connected to that module. So we click on outputs, and can you see? That's the one that we want, right? Then we click OK. Then we connect these together, and then we click on LinkedIn. But what we're gonna do, guys, is just delete that real quick. We're going to align it by hitting auto align. We're gonna save it, and then we're gonna add the LinkedIn module one final time. I'm gonna come down to show more. I'm gonna come down to create a user image post like so. And almost by magic, guys, it's pulled the image in. So if it ever isn't syncing, it ain't thinking. So collect that up. Title, this is just gonna be title for it. I mean, we could add a little automation, it creates this, but just for the sake of the automation, I'm just gonna put ABC. I'm just gonna put LinkedIn post. And ultimate text is this post. And then come down to the content that we want, of course, is gonna be the prompt from this Claude module here, which you can see is pulsing, which is awesome. Come down, click OK, and then we auto align everything, okay? And what we do, guys, is we run this one once. I've checked out openai.com. Since we're an AI channel, guys, AI automation channel, let's get something really interesting from AI, okay? So what would be a really interesting article for us to test? Let's say that we wanted to, I don't know, get something interesting on Search GPT. So let's just say we scroll down, like John did, I like the sound of Search GPT, so why don't we copy all of this? We right click, send selected text. We don't even need to think about it. That will go ahead and that will create all the posts for us. And guys, the other thing is there's ways that we can do this. Now look, it's already landed. Look, here's all the text and the URL, incredible. And then we've got the prompt, which is futuristic search interface display. Now the model that I'm using in this one is more designed for photorealism, so I'm interested what that one looks like. But you can imagine if you're using, you know, different models, like maybe the Pro version, you'd get a slightly different output. But guys, this is how it runs on autopilot. Now, say you don't want it to post automatically. There's other videos I can show you on the channel, and I can do a video on this if you want to, that goes through to database where you can review it and literally just click say yes, post, don't post, do this, do that. There's so many different applications for this tech, guys. It's insane. So you could literally just have a page for LinkedIn, a page for Instagram, and just post it at your will when you approve it. It is literally that insane. If you want me to do a video using Flux and that, let me know down below. Guys, now that's completed. We've got the prompt, it's posted on LinkedIn. So if we head over to LinkedIn now, we should see a completely fleshed out LinkedIn post and an image generated from Flux. And if I load it up, we've got this cool thing here talking about the news that's broken, why it matters, and some hashtags at the bottom with a call to action about what are your thoughts, excited about AI powered search, or do you have concerns? And then we can see an image, guys, a photorealistic photo of a woman on a laptop, and it's talking about Search GPT. How sick is that, guys? And honestly, have a play around with that. The model that I used to make that isn't even the best model. That's just the model that does people really well. If you use the pro model, you can do even a high level of that. But I hope you see the applications for this. But in any case, have an ace week, and I'll see you in my next video.